All right, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Tommy Joe, if you would lead us in the invocation as well.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Let's pray. Father God, we come to you once again, just humbly thanking you just for another day. Father God, we just thank you for everyone that's present here. We ask that you please lead and guide us according to thy will and not our own. Father God, we just want to just pause and just praise your name right now. We ask that you bless everyone's family, and Father, just be with us as we lead the city of Irondale. We ask these things in your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Brother. We now move into roll call. John, I'll start on your end.
We want to get this meeting started out the right way. I would love for you to address the dais as councilwoman, councilman, instead of our first thing. I think that's appropriate for us to do that.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Councilman London, would you like to start the roll call?
Yes, President.
Present.
Present. Myself present. All right, normally this is the moment where we would approve the minutes. We do not have the minutes from the October 20th meeting. I've spoken to James. We will take care of those minutes at the next meeting. Moving on to the next agenda item. As far as the current bills go, there is a typo on the change. The dollar amount is consistent, but on our agenda it says 19 cents. So whoever will make the motion to approve the bills, if the 19 cents can simply be changed to 79 cents. Can I have a motion?
Yeah. I make a motion that we approve the current bills for payment in the amount of $182,856.79. You said?
79 cents.
Yes, that's in the motion.
Can I ask a question in regard to the bills, the approval of the bills? As I looked through the expense report that was submitted to the council, I'm aware of the fact that we do have some contracts that are out there. I looked for them on the expense report, but I did not see them. So I'm wondering if we're doing what we can to make sure that we're fulfilling the obligations that satisfy the contracts that we have pending. I noticed that when Mayor Stewart sent me the minutes, I requested minutes from 2016 to 2020, and I noticed through some of the minutes that he sent me that we had some contracts, and some of them expire in November, others expire December 1st, and I want to make sure that we satisfy those obligations.
Was there a specific contract you're referring to?
I believe there were three that I'm aware of, and then I think there's some other ones based on attending the council meetings throughout 2020, earlier 2020 and 2019. One of them had to do with the mayor's assistant, Patricia Birch. Another one had to do with Butch Gerald, who I think is an engineer. Third one had to do with the municipal judge, and there's some other ones. And so I just want to make sure that we are fulfilling these obligations.
Thanks,
I didn't
Council.
see them on the expense report.
Thank you, Councilman. Mayor, can you speak to that as far as, obviously I'm sure our obligations that are current and in need for payment are met in this expense report?
Yes, the only time that we remit a payment or even a contract worker is that they have to submit an invoice to get paid for it. So if they have not submitted their invoice, then that would be the only reason that I can think of that you would not see their payment included in the report.
Thank you, Mayor. Fair enough. All right, so we have a motion on the floor. May we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on to the next agenda item would be in professional or consultant reports. Do we have any of those this evening? Okay. Moving to the next agenda item, Mayor, if you could give us your report tonight.
Well, first of all, I want to be able to thank everybody that's in attendance tonight. This is the first time I know in the 13 or 14 years that I've been involved with the council that we've had city council meeting on a Wednesday night. Unless something forward, the council agreed to be able to have the meeting on a Wednesday night. So we're really looking forward to it. Thank everybody for being out here tonight. I want to thank everybody who came to the swearing in, and hopefully there was something that you heard or in the message that I shared with you that I want to be able to do for the city going forward. I realize that I can't do anything if it's not everybody pushing and pulling in the same direction. So I'm looking forward to working with everyone over the next 4 years to see how we can move the wonderful city of Irondale forward. Also, I did want to speak to the email that you received today about the municipal courts being postponed. And the reason that the courts have been postponed because everybody who works in the court at the present time, contract expired on October the 31st. Therefore, we do not have a contract with the judge, we do not have the prosecutors, we do not have the defenders, we do not have any of those individuals in place because they do not carry over until with the next administration. Therefore, I would like to bring a proposal or resolutions on the next council meeting for the judge, as well as to be able for the prosecutor and the public defender. I want to be able to give the council an opportunity to dialogue with me on these appointments and to be involved in the process. Therefore, I didn't bring it to you tonight because we would not have had the opportunity to be able to do that. So over the next 2 weeks, I plan on getting with each and every one of you and being able to sit down and allow you to be able to have a chance to be able to ask those individuals questions. I've been working on this for over 2 months. Ever since August 26th, I've been working on all of these different things that I've been able to bring to the table. So I realized that I've had a 2 months head start and that maybe I need to slow it down a little bit to give everybody an opportunity to be involved. So that's why we had a postponement in the court, because you can't have court if you don't have any workers there. So we will not have any workers there until November the 19th, and hopefully on November the 18th, we will determine who will be the judge for the municipal court for the next 2 years. Thank you, President Spivey.
Thank
The
you.
mayor, you stated that as of right now, we don't have a contract with the judge, public defender. I'm sorry, I missed some of those titles.
We don't. All of that expired with the last administration.
Okay.
Those positions do not carry over until infinity.
Okay.
Since we do not have those individuals in place, it's impossible to be able to have court when you do not have the support staff as well as the professional staff in place to be able to hear cases. So we have postponed cases in the court for the next 2 weeks. It will have no effect on the court being able to proceed with their job duties, and it will not affect the police department and the things that they have to do that are related to the court. Police Chief Jason Wiggins has already had a discussion with Melanie Costin, who is the court supervisor magistrate, and they've already created a plan to be able to deal with how we're gonna move forward for the next 2 weeks.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
If I may ask a question, you mentioned that you'd be, giving the council the opportunity, Mayor Stewart, to talk and visit with those, that could serve as either probate judge or municipal judge, etc. Could that be done during a work session so that we can all come together as a council?
Council person or Councilwoman Cuellar, I would do it whichever way you all, whatever way is most convenient for you all. So if you would like to do it in a work session, and I know you all have various schedules, but if some people need to do it individually, I'll be here to be able to do that. And if you like to do it in a work session as a group, we can do that as well.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Councilwoman.
Mayor, are you just bringing, I guess, the law firms that you've actually been interviewing or talking to, or have you narrowed your search down to just one single source, or what's that situation gonna be?
Well, this has nothing to do with the law firm. I'm talking about the judge
Just
that
the
will
judge.
serve in the municipal court.
Very good. So are you just gonna be bringing one individual for us to speak with, or?
I've vetted several different individuals, but I would like for you to meet with the one individual that I wanted to present to the council, that I think that would be a good individual. for that
Has your
position.
confidence?
Yes.
Very good.
And this is why I was asking, because as with other, boards where the council takes the advice of chairman and so on, we interview the, candidates, the people as well. We have that opportunity to ask questions, things that may concern us, and this is why I was asking if we could do this during a work session. And
Thank
we
you.
can meet with more than one person, one
Thank you.
judge,
Thank you,
prosecutor, and
Councilwoman.
so on.
What I would, propose, James, do you anticipate being able to, Mayor Stewart, sorry, would you propose being able to have that information to us prior to the next council meeting, maybe that day of?
Well, I mean, I can get you all the resumes tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get you all the information tomorrow, so you will have an opportunity over the weekend, to be able to vet it. And if you want to schedule a meeting next week, a work session, or it may be a good idea to be able to do a work session right before we get ready to have the next council meeting, so that we can also cover the resolutions. We can go through vetting of the judges and any other items that you all would like to discuss in more detail that we probably would not want to go through in a council meeting.
Thank you, Mayor. You took the words right out of my mouth. So I would like to ask the body, instead of meeting and starting at 6, if we could have a work session prior to our next council meeting on November the 18th, starting at 5:30.
I have a comment.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir, Mr. President. Really, my opinion is this. I don't think we need to interview multiple people. I'm leaning on the mayor, because he's the one who won't be the one working with these candidates. The past 8 years since I've been on council, that's kind of how it happened, because the mayors, the former two mayors, decided who he wanted to work with, and the council never gave them any feedback or backlash on anything that happened. And so, because those people will be the ones that's working, we're not gonna have anything to do with the courts. The judges, the prosecutors, nothing. In the last two mayors, they brought some names to the table. We agreed those would be good people for us, and we voted on it. And it was just a simple process, and we never interviewed anyone. We talked to the guy that he brought to the table, and that was the end of the story. And I think this process needs to happen the same way.
Here again,
Thank
I'm
you,
just wanting us to
One
follow the
moment,
precedent.
Councilman,
I'm
Councilwoman Taylor.
wanting us to follow the precedents that we've had.
One moment, ma'am.
And this is why I asked if we could do this during the work session.
One moment for me. Councilman London, thank you very much, and I echo your sentiment and our confidence in our mayor to bring forth a qualified candidate. Where I am also driving is we also need to do our committee assignments, as well as possibly discuss any other resolutions that might be on the table for that evening. I feel that a work session to talk about those, as well as ask any additional questions that we might not have had time to field on a one-on-one setting, could be appropriate and beneficial. Once again, I do echo your sentiments and the mayor's, with the confidence of the mayor, but I think it could serve a useful purpose, especially around the committee assignments.
Councilman Shine.
Councilman Wilson, yes, sir.
I guess I was just so caught off guard. You know, I have several years here with the city, and that has never, actually, that has never happened before, where a mayor has presented that particular option for the council. I want to echo Councilman London's sentiments that normally it's just the mayor, he would kind of recommend the people that he decide to hold these particular positions to the council, and that's who we vote on. And I've been here 14 years, and that has never, ever happened since I have been here. And I've been here longer than anyone.
Councilman Wilson, I do have a question for you.
So, I just, hold on, talk. So, I guess I'm just shocked, you know, that it was even just brought to us, so.
May I reply?
Yeah.
Thank you, Councilor Wilson. Basically, I even mentioned possibly doing a work session around committee assignments. I know that I can just call them, but I'm open-minded enough for anybody that's serving on a current committee that might want to change around a little bit, and then also for our new council members to make some suggestions about some committees that we serve on. We know we have a chair on each committee. We've got multiple committees that comprise of 2 additional members. I do think it warrants some thought. So that is something I actually spoke to the mayor about before we started this, about possibly scheduling a work session. If there's any additional resolutions that we possibly need to work through, we can do so at that time. So at 6 o'clock we can conduct business. If there are some additional follow-up questions, which I plan to take care of my one-on-one questions with the mayor during the time allotted, but if there are some additional questions that need to be fielded, I think it's fair that we have the opportunity to field them, but I would like to handle committees in the work session.
I have no problem with the work session.
Does that night work?
What, I'm sorry?
It would be,
what night?
it would be Wednesday, the 18th at 5:30, and then we can start business on 6 at 6.
Wednesday the 18th. You think 30 minutes would be long enough?
I think that should be plenty of time.
Okay. I'm just 1/5 of a team here, so all depends on what the other
I
council.
understand. Councilmember Box?
Good with me, sir.
Councilwoman Quayle?
Good with me, sir.
And Councilman John London? Thank you. All right, so the 11, 18 at 5:30. Thank you very much for that. Moving on into department heads reports. Do we have any department heads that would like to give a report this evening? Okay. Moving on, we will move into the council member reports. Myself, I do not have a report at this time. Councilman Wilson? Do you?
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to type this message in. Let me get my reports. Bear with me, Council President, I'm sorry.
Would you like us to come back to you, sir?
Yes, if you don't mind.
Okay. Councilmember London, your report?
First of all, I just want to welcome everybody here tonight. Hope you had a safe election day yesterday, and hope you guys voted. And looking forward to the next 4 years serving the city of Irondale. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Quayle.
I echo Councilman London's comments. I'd like to welcome those of you that are attending our council meetings. I want to thank you for coming out this evening, and also would like to thank you, many of you who are in the audience today. I recognize many of you. You're wonderful citizens of Irondale and very active. And I just want to thank you and look forward to working with you in the future. And for those of you that don't know, there is a new business that's having a grand opening on Friday. And Julie Gardner, our Chamber of Commerce Executive Director will be handling that. I believe it's at 10 a.m. on Friday. It's the Grants Male Dentistry. Some of you may have seen that building. It's a beautiful building. And anyone that could come out on Friday, please come out and show your support for the dentist that's going to be opening there. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman Fox?
Yeah, thank you, Council President, Council President. I just want to say I'm happy to be here. I want to try to serve the city of Irondale, not lead, because I believe serving is leadership. So when I do something, I may make a mistake, I may ask a question inappropriately, but know this, it's from a heart of trying to figure out the right thing to do. So if I ever make you feel on the spot, it's simply because I know we're all on the same team, and I just want to be a help to everybody. Once again, everybody said thank you for coming out, so I'll say that too, and I look forward to being able to be a help to this team. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And Councilman Wilson?
Thank you. I finally found my notes, so I want to echo what Councilman Fox mentioned. I want to thank everyone for coming out as well. You know, I've been here, like I said previously, for a while now, and we've got a pretty good crowd, and I'm really excited about the next 4 years as far as seeing what this council comes up with. Of course, I'm going to say it again, I also told Mayor Stewart, this is my last 4 years, for sure, and I just want to just see what this administration have in store. I'm pretty sure it'll be, well, hopefully, be much better than what we have done in the past. I'm praying for that. But other than that, that's all I have as far as that is concerned. But what I did want to bring, as far as my comments, I want to bring each council meeting citizens' comments. You know, I get a lot of emails, and I want to make sure that I'm serving my district, not only my district, but my community, and let the mayor know as far as some of the comments that I received, emails that I received, as far as some of the concerns that some of my constituents have. And Mayor, I'll be more than happy to forward these emails to you as far as how you would like to deal with them. But I will call it my citizens' comments. I received one email from a citizen. She lives on Paramount. I think it's Paramount. Councilman London, I think she lives right down the street from you. And she stated there's been an issue with speeding, mainly on Bunnyvale Lane, coming down Bunnyvale, coming up from Paramount, and I think it ends on Crowley. This citizen stated that they have been sometimes running the stop sign, so they're very concerned about the speeding, mainly on Bunnyvale and Paramount, going up towards Crowley. So I'll be more than happy to forward this to you so you can read it and figure out what you need to satisfy the citizens' comments. One more. I have another. Also, we talked about earlier, someone mentioned, you know, we have a pretty good crowd, and I received an email from a citizen kind of inquiring about the council meeting having a larger space to host our meetings due to COVID-19. As everyone knows, you know, we're still in a pandemic, you know, it hasn't gone anywhere, and some of us have underlying conditions. So that's something we may need to look at, if possible, if that's the council's pleasure. But really due to, you know, the pandemic we're going through, hopefully we can talk about having a meeting in a much larger space than right here in the council chambers. Also, a citizen was concerned about the JCIB relocating and moving to another campus, and particularly Fultondale. They wanted to know if we had any representative, anyone from Irondale as a representative, like a liaison from the Jefferson County Board of Education, just to get some updates as far as when that move possibly can happen. Mayor, I don't know if if we have someone that we could call on or have someone to attend the Jefferson County Board of Education meetings, but I know they are moving in the future, so, if we can get some kind of updates as far as what's gonna happen to our current campus when they move, that probably would be good. So those are the only two things I have, and then I'll let you kind of speak on that part.
Yes, I just wanted to give everybody an update on JCID. I met with, Dr. Gonsolin on Friday, and he mentioned to me that IB is definitely going to Fultondale, but they are also looking at creating these academies. And at Irondale, we have an automotive academy. So they are looking to use those additional classrooms when IB leaves to go to Fultondale to be able to start the automotive academy over at the Shades Valley High School.
Good news, thank you.
One thing, speaking on that's one thing I think we also need to look at as far as academies. We used to have the police and fire academy part of the program at Shades Valley High School, and it was great programs. And we trained Irondale kids to be our police officers, our firemen. And I would love to look at bringing those two academies back at Shades Valley High School for our kids here in the city of Irondale.
Fair enough.
Let's get going.
May we move on?
I have one question, Mr. President. Mayor Stewart, did he by chance, the superintendent state when the JCID was going to be moving to Fultondale?
It probably will be within the next 5 years,
Okay.
next 2 to 5 years.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the next agenda item. Do we have any reports of boards or non-council committees at this time? Okay. So our next phase we would be moving to the approval of the agenda, which we have 2 items up for deliberation tonight. I know that there has been some weeks that have passed. Just a question I would like to pose: are all the candidates that we spoke to on the initial interview, are they still up for a possible appointment? Mayor, could you speak to that? Do you know if everybody is still up for nomination that spoke with us, what 6 weeks ago?
Mr. Jones submitted a letter asking that his name be removed from consideration for one of the CDA positions.
Thank you. So knowing that is in play, obviously that was a resume that we received, so we need to go ahead and remove that from consideration. Thank you for that update. That being said, can someone make a motion for the approval of the agenda?
Motion for the approval of the agenda.
May we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Okay. So now we move into the phase around public comments on agenda items only. The 2 agenda items, once again, being the appointment of 2 CDA members. We have 8 items only. Okay, thank you. So moving on into the deliberation of the unfinished business.
Council President,
Yes, sir.
as far as, comments on the agenda items, could we go over those names once again as far as the, possible, appointees for these 2 slots? Do you have the names of them?
I do. So we have 2 seats. One is currently occupied by Paul Saucier. He is obviously applied to keep that seat. We also have Aaron Sims, whose name was submitted to us. We have a young lady named Ellen Borges that was submitted to us. Mr. Jones obviously has pulled his name out. And then we have Mark Hume. That's the second agenda item is for Cindy's seat, who obviously vacated that when she became on the council. Does that answer your question?
One more question. Do we have all of those candidates here? I think I see one.
I know I saw Paul. I saw
Mark.
Mark.
Yeah. I saw Aaron.
Aaron there.
Ms. Borges?
I do not believe we have her in the audience tonight. Would that be accurate? Okay. I
Okay.
believe she's not with us
All
tonight.
right, thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
So, first item, 2020 R48. I would accept the nomination for that appointment.
Mr. President, I would like to, let me comment first.
Please.
Let me just comment on Mr. Jones' letter of resignation. Here's a guy that probably had the best resume that we can pull, that we looked at. And the first impression we had is that we got a list of names in no ranking order. And then the day before we want to elect the members of the CDA, we got a ranking order. And Mr. Jones had the best resume of all of those candidates. And 4 people was ranked ahead of him. And he, as a citizen of Irondale, was very disappointed for those rankings. This guy, arms reached from Oregon to Florida. This guy has sit on budgets of billions of dollars. He's built schools. I mean, his resume was impeccable. And for the CDA to rank him 4th was a disappointment to him. And he also, in his letter, was a disgrace to the city of Irondale. And that's the way he felt. And I can send you a copy of the letter, and I'll be happy to send a copy to the CDA chairperson who ranked it, who made this ranking. If we're trying to do what's best for the city of Irondale, and we're not putting the best people there on these boards, then we're doing Irondale a disservice. And we're not doing what's best for them. It's no way, my personal opinion, and none of you probably didn't see the resume, there's no way, my personal opinion, this guy should not have been ranked number 1 as a CDA person. Now, we're gonna put some folks on here tonight, but none of them are qualified as Doug Jones when we talked about moving this city forward. And that's my comment. And he wanted me to tell you that he was disappointed the way that happened. And he's a citizen of Irondale.
I appreciate that feedback. I did not receive any letter from him. So we all know that the CDA is able to make recommendations, but the decision lies with us. I wish that if he would have taken the possible our consideration into play and maybe stayed in the process if you felt that strongly. So I appreciate your words on him. I never had met him prior to that evening, but here we are now, time to make a decision. So going back to unfinished business.
Well, President Spivey, may I make a comment, please?
Please.
We have the chairman of the CDA board, and we also have the former president of the council that's here. And during the time that these council meetings were held, Chairman Pugh and former President Marino, did you instruct the CDA to rank the candidates that were interviewed 2 per vacancy? At least that was my understanding of it, that you asked the CDA to rank the candidates.
Correct.
And Chairman Pugh, would you like to comment on how you went about doing that?
I think we're out of order.
I think we are out of
Yeah,
order.
we're out of order.
I agree.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that, Councilwoman. But I think it's time that we go ahead and move on with the current business in front of us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So once again, we have item number 1 under unfinished business. Would someone like to make a nomination?
I'd like to nominate Mark Hume as one of these seats.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
No?
No. So that motion carries with Mark Hume assuming that position.
Was that a 3-2 or?
That was a 4-1.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Moving on to unfinished business, item number 2, resolution 2020-R48 fills the second vacant seat. May we have a nomination?
I make a motion that we nominate Paul Saucier to the Commercial Development Authority until March of 2024.
Second.
We have a second on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
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 No.
And Councilman Wilson?
No.
Okay, so that was a 3-2 on Paul. Okay, thank you very much. That concludes the deliberation of agenda items. Now we find ourselves with public comments to the council about non-agenda items. I have a young lady in the back. Yes, ma'am. If you could, for the record, when you approach, the mic is on. If you could give us your name and address.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Joyce Rutledge, and I live at 1648 Heritage Place here in Irondale. And the issue that I'm bringing forward to our council, Mr. Box is my council person. And right in front of my house is a thick hole, like, right in front of my driveway. And I would appreciate it if Mr. Box could come out and look at that and speak with the Public Works Department or whichever department needs to look at that, because it's getting worse.
What was your address again, please?
It's 1648 Heritage Place. Thank you.
Do that. Thank you. Any other comments from
Ms. Rutledge, Frank Pennington, who is the Director of Public Works, he'll be hiding as a city clerk today. But he'll come out there tomorrow and look at it.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Wilson?
Yeah, one more comment. Councilman London, I did receive a email or a phone call from one of your citizens in District 1 about a sinkhole as well in front of their house. So I will get that address and get it to you, so you can get with Mayor Stewart and see about that as well. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Going back to the audience, any other? Yes, sir.
Stephen Marino, 3743 Bainbridge Trace Drive, Irondale. Just a comment, it would be greatly appreciated as a member of the public if y'all would have your discussion on agenda items before you approve it. After Councilor London made his comment, it was after the agenda discussion was closed. And I had a comment to make on that particular item. Was not able to make it because I did not know that was coming up. But appreciate that in the future. That would give us an opportunity because there's more to the story.
Noted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments to the council about non-agenda items? All right, I will take a motion for adjournment.
Motion for adjournment.
Second? All in favor? I didn't hear the second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Everybody knows